Labour's demand for a 2 to 3 week circuit breaker lockdown came under fierce attack on Thursday night from a member of the BBC Question Time audience. Sir Keir Starmer has accused Boris Johnson of having lost control of the virus and demanded the new restrictions. However, the policy was sharply criticised by a man in the Question Time audience who argued it will only delay the problem. Addressing Bridget Phillipson, Labour's shadow chief secretary to the Treasury, he said, "You talk about a 2 to 3 week circuit breaker. Circuit breaker is just fancy language for lockdown. We had a 3-week circuit breaker in March. We're now 7 or 8 months into it. So what on earth are we going to achieve in 2 to 3 weeks that we haven't in 7 to 8 months? There's no guarantee it would end in 2 to 3 weeks. We would be in exactly the same position, just at a later date. We aren't dealing with the problem. We're just pushing it further and further down the line in my opinion." Coronavirus cases are continuing to rise across the UK. Lockdowns have already been imposed on Northern Ireland and Wales by devolved administrations. However, England is continuing to use a system of tiered restrictions. In response, Ms. Phillipson said, "The government has lost control of the virus. That's why we're calling for a national circuit breaker. It would allow us to dampen down infection rates which are rising right across the country, not just in areas that are subject to local restrictions. It would allow the government to get a grip on test, trace and isolate." Question Time host Fiona Bruce questioned whether 2 to 3 weeks would be enough time to establish a working test and trace system. Ms. Phillipson replied, "I think there are immediate changes the government could make to get the system working better. Give greater powers to local councils to run some of that system, who are much better connected to what's going on than this privatized model we've got going on at the moment." Due to the coronavirus pandemic, there was no audience at Thursday's edition of Question Time and the panel was socially distanced. Questions were asked via video app by residents of Sedgefield in County Durham. On Thursday, the UK recorded another 189 deaths from people who had been diagnosed with coronavirus. Another 21,242 cases of COVID-19 were also confirmed. Wales enters a 17-day firebreak lockdown at 1800 hours on Friday. Greater Manchester is also joining Liverpool and Lancashire in Tier 3, meaning people can't socialise outside of their household either inside or outdoors. Separately, Chancellor Rishi Sunak announced changes to the job support scheme, which replaces furlough next month, doubling the taxpayer contribution for each affected person.